But in truth, it's women that will be asking you why you are not married. It's women that will be asking you when you're
God
going to
bless
have a baby.
you.
It's
When you're not
women-
yet married, it's women that will come and carry their matter. When are we going to wear Sherby? When you're married, they'll now start watching your womb. When are you going to get pregnant? You get pregnant. Now they're asking you. To our YouTube channel. You're welcome. If you are a returning viewer, we appreciate you. Why are you keeping quiet?
I'm just allowing you to talk.
Okay,
I'm gonna have my day in court, so please carry on.
Let's not do court. Okay. So yeah, if you're a returning viewer, we appreciate you for viewing our YouTube channel again. But if this is your first time, you should think you are welcome. No, let's not do that. So if this is your first time viewing our YouTube video, you are very welcome, and we want to implore you. We have a way of doing things.
That English is even more. If you are not employed, this one they've employed you like this. Okay.
I feel like I'm doing, you know, the way we welcome first timers
in church. Honestly,
I'm even about to sing your welcome.
Looking at you.
I've just
this one they are employing you people. Anyways, welcome guys.
Yeah, welcome. And we have a way we do this.
Yeah. So like if you're just watching, we're part of the YouTube gang.
So please click on the subscribe button.
At the bottom of this video, they always say that.
Yeah, and just subscribe to our YouTube channel, and
share,
we promise
comment.
It's worth your time.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Please share and please comment.
Please drop a comment. Thank you.
All right.
Yep. So.
Our baby. Yeah.
So yes, we remember that last time the introduction video that we didn't actually say the name of the YouTube channel, and we're just feeling fly and funky, but as you can see, we went extra.
We did not just come up with a name. We came with a kilo.
Why was it even difficult for us to come up with a name?
I don't
See,
know.
we took days coming up with a name. And last we ended up with couch convos with Adela and Tony, which still sounds difficult for me to say couch convos, but it's all good. But
so
here we are.
Welcome to Couch Convos. Clearly,
welcome to
we're on the couch and we're having conversations. Yeah, welcome.
Okay, so she's going to introduce today's topic.
Yeah, so as you all know, I would have just liked to say hello to the ladies really, because this month is all about y'all and all about us. Happy International Women's Month, guys.
Yeah, happy International Women's Month.
I mean, on the basis of that, we wanted to do a show that celebrates women and talks about the unique experiences of women. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should just jump right in, really.
And the theme for this year's International Women's Day is breaking the bias.
Yeah, guys, this is how it's done.
She told me that she has seen.
For those of you singing Wakanda side.
Yeah, I've not seen it too, but it's all good. Even if you just to do one love, hugs and kisses.
Thanks. Thank you. Because so that we're all clear. So yeah,
decide to do namaste.
Okay. So basically, we're breaking the bias. We're celebrating women that have broken the bias, and we're talking about breaking the bias. Bias can be anything, really. So I think that the first question that we'll start with really is, I mean, what was your first experience of what you might call bias against a female? What would you say was your first experience or your earliest memory?
Okay, I think that would be growing up. Of course, when mothers, African mothers, I don't know if it's just Nigerian mothers or African mothers.
I think it's just whatever it is.
Maybe it's just Nigerian. I don't know. But when you make a mistake growing up and they're trying to correct you, it will be something that has to relate with, is this how you're going to be behaving in your husband's house?
The legendary line.
Like, I think that was the earliest one I noticed. Like, and of course, in my house though, we all, both male and female children, we clean the house, we do the dishes, we cook and do everything. But when it comes to correcting me as a girl, my mom would be like, is this how you're going to be doing? And I didn't feel it was a bad thing, but I never heard her say, to my brothers that this is how you're going to be behaving in your wife's house. And I'm like, at least I can see you and daddy that is one man and one woman that is to do this married something. So why does it have to be only the lady that has to hear it all the time or be prepared all the time for your husband's house? Like, why are you not telling him what's going to happen to you when you get to your wife's house? So I think that would be the first
right. Yeah, I'm sure that, I mean, for many of us, that's probably pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Then I think for me, what really made me aware about like a difference in treatment must have been maybe when I was a teenager. You know how you're walking down your street in your neighborhood and boys are gathered somewhere gisting, and as you pass they go quiet and they start calling you and making all the signs and doing yes, this girl, that girl, whatever, depending on how razzed or to the people in your neighborhood were. and you didn't know how to handle that, basically, and then you become self-conscious, and if you don't even respond to them, they even get upset and they start calling you names and all that. And I think that for me, I just noticed that doesn't happen. Nobody's making boys feel uncomfortable like this just to walk down the street. I think for me that's the first awareness I had of, okay, this is happening to me basically because I'm a girl. So I mean that for me was the earliest experience.
And then another one is in secondary school, so I think that's another one I noticed again, that even though there is head boy and head girl, it's always the head boy is placed above the head girl.
Wow, wait, so that thing, I never thought about it until right now. That is actually true. The head boy is looked at
the head boy is looked out as the king, the president, so to say, and then the head girl.
True. That is so true. I've never thought about that before.
And we are wondering why we don't have a female president.
I mean, yeah, like that should actually be looked into, because now that you say it, I'm like,
yes, even right from childhood, these things have always been there, just that we don't notice it.
I honestly believe that a lot of bias has been sort of subtly placed into us, such that when you weigh your bias against logic, that's when you now realize that, oh, it's actually a bias, because you just say, like I was saying today, that I know someone who said you'll be upset if they call him to come and wash his plate as a husband, like if his wife calls him to come and wash his plate. And I'm like, if you were living alone, you were going to do your dishes anyway. But you see, you don't weigh your bias against logic.
Somebody can be angry that they told him to come and wash.
So you get plate that you used as an adult, and I'm just like, that's because you're not weighing
levels.
there are levels to this thing. No, but seriously, because I feel like you're not weighing your bias against logic. Because if you weigh it against logic, that should not make sense.
Oh, sorry, let me not be angry.
Let's not be angry. We want to be gentle and nice today. We'll try.
Yeah.
But I mean, this just goes to show how much bias there is in society. And basically it's at different levels. Of course, at the higher levels, it goes to institutions, it goes to workplaces, it goes to leadership and politics. But it's actually amazing how it is everywhere in Africa and in Nigeria. So the next thing I was thinking about really was to ask, one of the things I heard a lot this week is about how women can be biased against themselves. What does that mean? Like how I can be biased against myself, how I can choose not to take some steps because I think that I'm a woman. How will I explain this step I want to take? So I'm wondering, did you ever have any such bias against yourself in any way? And how did you
that because I'm a woman?
Yeah, like you either you cowered back from doing something or you hesitated to do something because you just felt women will be seen in a certain light if they do this.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember any.
Oh wow, I think I have one.
Maybe if you say one, I remember. But
I definitely had a self-bias. And this was like when I just finished school and my parents bought me a car. And someone actually called me and said, now that you have a car, you need to be careful. Guys are going to be intimidated. You want to tone down, the use of the car and all of that. And all I could think of was, so I'm not able to drive my car now because I'm single and I want people to ask me out. But guess what? It actually planted a seed in me, and for a while I actually thought about it, and I actually sort of absorbed that fear that so now that I'm driving, I will not have, I won't get people to ask me out or to like me and all of that. And I think that it took a while for me to get past it and to just realize that cannot be the reason. That cannot be the reason why someone who really wants to be with me would not be with me. I think that's one it might look unserious, but that was definitely one.
That's
you
not
know,
serious.
that was definitely one self-bias that I had to go. I think that every day though, I still have to get past, to work at getting past some biases I have, against myself. But I think that most times it doesn't have to do with career actually. I think most of the time, maybe in the line of relationship, because of things like that, maybe those are the only things that I can think of as self-bias. So now, can you think of anything?
I won't want to call it self-bias because it would be okay. The only thing I can think about is, again, growing up, I lived with brothers, and when something is going, like when we have, of course, now siblings, we will always have quarrel, but when something is going on or when we are quarreling like that, and they will just caution us that like ladies don't talk like that. They expect you to just leave them alone and let them be because they are the guys and so. And I don't know if that's me. I'm quite gentle, but I think to a good level. Yeah, so I don't know if I can call that a self-bias, but of course it plays out sometimes that you feel like, well, I'm the lady, let me just be the one to just let peace reign and just move on.
And that is actually something, because now I feel like you saying that now reminded me that there was a time I actually stopped talking, and like I'm very passionate like about my views on things, and there was a time I actually shut down for a while because it was like, your own is too much, you're too forceful. I heard someone say that today because I attended a women's program virtually this morning, and I could so relate. It was like people used to say you're too forceful, you're too opinionated. It's like your personality is too strong for a lady. And I remember actually.
But if it was a guy doing this thing, it would be like, oh, that's my guy. Like you're the guy.
They won't even notice. You get it. Won't even be something.
It won't even be something. It won't even be a topic.
But as a lady, you'll be looked at like your own is too much and all. And I think that actually for a while I stepped back from being very vocal. I stopped being vocal for a while. Because of that, until I now picked up my voice back. So I think that there's something such as self-bias, and we should actually be conscious about it. There's this book I read, Sheryl Sandberg, where she says that women don't push as much as they should because they just feel like I'm the woman, they won't listen to me. And she was just trying to say, what, regardless, push, try, do the thing you want to do, whether or not you feel that people will give you the chance as a woman. So I mean, moving along from self-bias, let's talk about women in the workplace. This one is so much fun because there's so much to talk about, concerning women in the workplace, women as bosses, women as colleagues, and women as team leads. Bosses are different from team leads, so maybe like the head of your team or your supervising manager or something. And just let me ask you, what has been your experience with female bosses and female colleagues, just in a general sense?
Okay, female bosses, I think now I have them, but until now I've never had a female boss. I've always worked with men. But colleagues, and yes, my boss right now, she's female, she's sweet, and she's a very good person, and I really like that. But of course I've heard of different stories of having a female boss and all. But yes, experience working with female colleagues, sometimes it can be dramatic.
Maybe it's neither here nor there, really.
Sometimes you feel like, okay, you have the support that you need, that you have a team of people that can get you, and then you guys can work together and achieve whatever the organizational goal is and all. But then again, sometimes I just feel like there's usually this unnecessary rivalry or competition among women that I feel like unnecessary. I feel like it's not necessary. Have you experienced such before?
Frankly, maybe just recently. Before recently, and I'm trying to be non-specific. Before recently, I don't think I had female colleagues that I felt were trying to outwit me or anything like that. So for me, it's actually strange. The first time I think I experienced it, it was still strange. And to be fair, this was one person out of many. So I think that I would still say maybe it's not always the norm, and it's not always the rule. But I would say that about female bosses, there's a lot that has been said about female bosses. I've not really had many female bosses. I currently have one, and I think she's great. She's okay. I think that maybe we're just weighing experiences against experiences, and we don't have any data to actually prove that female bosses are more difficult. But I do think that female bosses are difficult. I actually think that they are more emotionally. They are more. How do I put it now? They tend to go off emotionally more than, maybe more than men.
I don't know about when you now put it as by emotionally. I'm not quite sure.
Here's what I mean.
We have to be careful of that word too. Now, do you know what I mean?
I think what I'm just saying is it is women that tend to, for instance, instead of addressing the issue and moving on, they tend to talk into plenty things, and I just
that are not necessary.
It's not necessary. This is a work.
Yes, let's
situation.
Keep it work.
Say, speak
about
what you're angry about and move on. And then don't yell, and then don't cry. Not to say that you should not show emotion, but some of these things happen, and you're just like, okay, like,
how did we get
here? Do you get? And that tends to, except when you have really, horribly mannered males. Most males are able to get over whatever has happened, talk to you and get out. But with women, sometimes I do notice that there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of recalling the bad thing you did 3 weeks after, and just sort of bringing that whole family concept into the workplace. And then it also, sometimes there are not as much boundaries as there should be to female bosses. Sometimes things get out of the normal work. I think for me, that's the only thing I've noticed that I think that can be worked on. I have a code that probably is very wicked, which is that I'm not at work to make friends. If I make friends, that's great, but I'm not there to make friends. So I try to keep everything
job and go home,
work oriented as much as possible, and I don't try to get into your personal life. That's just me. But I also noticed that there's a lot of unspoken expectations with female bosses that goes beyond work. And I think that if we can maybe deal with that, definitely everybody has a right to complain about something at work. But I just think that would be, I won't say difficult. I think that it's just the way they express their unhappiness that can be, it now looks like it's not this, kilo shishele, sometimes it gets to that point.
And then I think that also female bosses get to this, I don't know, they get to this point where they feel like you want to take them for granted.
Yes.
And then they just have to be like, maybe because of that onset bias that they feel like, if I was a male, if I was a guy, you wouldn't be treating me this way. Like this. So they want to toughen up to show that, I'm the boss here, and so any little thing they are snapping just to prove a point. And I feel like that's not
and
actually
I think it's
necessary.
Actually noticeable. It's noticeable when you are going off unnecessarily.
Yes,
that's the truth. And for me, it's fine if you want to get upset. It's fine. You need to you need to discipline people. You need to speak when something is not working. But like I said, except yes, there's a sense of unconscious bias, which I think that we as women need to deal with, so that we don't come off as you are overreacting to something that is actually not there. Because I think that I might have experienced that, and I feel like it's not necessary. So basically,
then, can we also talk about women being biased against women? Because I know that I feel like, okay, yes, break the bias. We are always having this. Maybe that's why I can't really say that I'm a feminist, because I feel like we are trying to get our rights from men. But what about getting ourselves from ourselves? We have to deliver ourselves from ourselves. Ladies, the way we treat ourselves sometimes is bad. Like, you see something on social media now, maybe. Okay, there was this story of this lady that I read, that she actually went to a park and her son drowned in the park, and the boy was very sick for a long time, and she had this, the boy was very sick for a long time. In fact, I heard of the story when the boy had actually died, and it was something for me personally anyway. But the comments that you will see, you would actually find out that women are the one castigating this woman and saying that, what were you doing when she was careless when that thing happened? Why was she away from her children? Like, I have a child, but I do have a life as well.
A life. And I think
and that's not even the only thing. Like, women, if you see a woman doing something, just celebrate her and move on, expecting that yours will come if you do the things that will make yours to come. But women, now we go there, the comments, they holla,
everything.
She's doing a shower, she's like, women have it.
but truly, some of these biases that we're saying, in truth, someone said today, and I agree, that women are part of the greatest enforcers of patriarchy.
Yes.
Because they themselves, women are the ones that will remind you of those biases and try to reinforce it again.
You've not seen where a lady wants to contest for something, and it is women that will be saying that.
What are you thinking about?
Why do you think I should vote for you? Like, as a woman, should you not know your place? Like, so I feel like if we have to talk about this bias of a thing, we also need to be conscious of the bias that we are saying women supporting women, but are we really supporting ourselves?
I mean, this question has come up so much this week in all kinds of events. Are women are supporting themselves? To be honest, I have experienced a lot of female support.
Yes, I agree. But I think that we can do better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that we can do better. And then you have to know that with social media, people just like to talk. That's one. You have to know that one. So like, for when it comes to social media, it's neither here nor there. But in truth, it's women that will be asking you why you're not married. It's women that will be asking you when you're
God bless you. When you're not yet married, it's women that will come and carry their matter. When are we going to wear When you're married, they'll now start watching your womb. When are you going to get pregnant? If you're pregnant, now they're asking you, okay, well,
there's not as many there's not as many men that ask you when
truth like that. Yes,
it's usually women.
But we've been hearing case of bad mother-in-law. I hardly hear case of bad father-in-law.
I heard one bad father-in-law.
Oh, just one. How many? One bad father-in-law out of how many bad mother-in-law?
I think that there's a woman thing going around that I hope that we can work on, and that's which is why I talked about that going off emotionally. It's not because I want to paint women as over emotional, but that there's a lot of things that we actually do that is not necessary. So for instance, on my birthday, my sister-in-law wrote like an epistle about how she was a bit worried when she was going to meet me. She was even still in school. I'm like, even me, I was in mid school at that time. So I'm like, why are you worried? Me, that she said she was worried. That's the first time that I'll know that, somebody was worried that she's about to meet her sister-in-law and everything. And I know she went ahead to say that, that I was very nice. I made her feel at home. And all I could think of was, as in, why will I not make you feel at home? I don't understand. Like, I didn't get it, because I'm like, but I remember now that I had a classmate who said that anybody that was going to date her younger brother must call her auntie and must call her younger brother's younger sister auntie as well. And I'm like, yeah, in freaking medical school, so like you should be educated. Like, are you joking right now? And I realized that it's true. I see a lot of people come on social media and complain about their sister-in-laws, and I'm like, why? And are you a problem? I cannot get it, because I feel like you are even the one that is supposed to get it. Like, how is this your business?
Okay, let's say somebody that is even expecting a child now and hasn't. It is the women that will now start saying that,
she's not fertile.
We are not fertile. I'm like, should the woman not be the one to get it?
Even be,
should we not be the one to be more empathetic? Because you can literally put yourself in this person's shoes and feel, and at least, even if it's not you, but at least you can imagine what it could feel like. Why is it women?
I was going to say that I was going to actually put that post on social media. Like, let me talk to sister-in-laws for a bit. Chill out. Like, this person is not marrying you.
He's
marrying your brother. Like, just chill out. Can we chill out? Like, generally, even mothers, there are times when, my mom, I'm just like, chill out. Like, chill out. If it wasn't that this person is your in-law, this particular matter will not be this important to you. Chill out. It's their life, it's their family. Extend grace to them and just let them be. You're not going to live with them.
I've heard stories of this thing and I just keep laughing.
I cannot understand it.
Okay, the sister-in-law to be came to their house, and your son, the mother-in-law now, your son and his girlfriend, they ate and they did not wash plate. And they went out and came back, and you're yelling at the girlfriend that I'm like, they were both there together. They both ate the food.
They both went out.
So anyway, let's just wrap up this one because it's getting long.
Yeah, I think we had one last question. But basically, I think we've even ended up touching on a lot of the.
But what do you think that we
aspects.
can do better as women generally to break the bias against us and against ourselves?
But I think we should just keep going. Like, if you have any dream, anything you really are convinced that you should do, just do it. Just do it, knowing that even if you have like support of one person, it's enough. Just go ahead and do it, regardless of what people might say. You know, that's literally how I have come to live my own life now, regardless of what men might say. I've learned to have an inner conversation with myself. Is this what I want to do? Is this what I can sense is right for me to do in this season? Go ahead and do it. And like someone said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So if you don't do it, someone will complain. If you do it, someone will complain. Better to do the one that you are convinced about, so that when the complaints come, you have something in you to do. Yeah, exactly. You feel fulfilled. So I think that's definitely one thing that I would want to see. And just to also caution, I think it's important to point out that when we do get roles, when we do get opportunities to lead, we need to demonstrate competence. I have a mentor that talks about this, and I'm beginning to see truly the point. We need to show that, I'm actually great at what I do. I don't want handouts. I don't want you to give me the role just because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I want to get the role because I earned it. So we should put in the actual work. There's a lot of
maybe another time.
Yeah, it's very controversial.
Okay, based on this topic, if you feel like there are some things that we did not touch on that you would like for us to touch on, please drop it in the comments. And we'll be making another video for that in the future.
And you can ask questions.
And yes, you can ask questions.
And you can disagree with us and give us great reasons. By the way, there's no need to pick on one another. Just give us your reasons and back it up with proof, with logical proof. No big deal.
Yeah, so thank you very much for watching this episode. We hope that you liked it. If you did, please go ahead and click the thumbs up. Give us a like so that other ladies, other people can find this video as well. And if you haven't,
subscribe. And we hope you keep breaking biases, in your own life and in your own experiences. We hope you keep doing big stuff, stuff that you didn't think you could do. That's the whole idea. So till we'll come to your screen next time, regardless of what she said last time. Till you see the beautiful faces again. Don't worry, they will call you. Keep it up. Bye.